All right, time right now is 8:23, and if you haven't heard, the big Wall Street bailout plan failed. A lot of politicians are now pointing fingers. Right, exactly.
Political consultant Thom Serafin joins us with his insight into the blame game and where we go next.
This isn't very helpful, Thom.
Well, I thought it was interesting that it came to a vote, period. I mean, why would you bring something to a vote when you know you don't have the votes for it?
Well, you know, they were hoping to get some Republican blood on this thing because, as you can tell, most people voted against it. Majorities of the Hispanic caucus, the Black caucus, voted against this bill because it hurts people back home. The people at home were out. The outcry was huge. Representative Shimkus from downstate Illinois, 200-to-1 phone calls to vote against this thing. I mean, Bobby Rush voted against it. Jesse Jackson voted against it. Dan Lipinski voted against it. These are Democrats that voted against this bill. If she doesn't have the Democrats, if you're going to blame Bush being a Republican in the White House for the problems and the Republicans the problem, the Congress is controlled by Democrats. So the Democrats have a problem here.
What does it say of her
leadership about Nancy Pelosi?
Well, you know, the unfortunate thing is that you had Representative Barney Frank ignoring this issue for years. You have Chris Dodd saying we need more oversight, but he is the oversight in the Senate. So in some ways, you know, in one of the papers this morning, they say the arsonists are in charge of the fire department.
It's very frustrating just even hearing the sound bites coming out of Washington. Everybody's sitting there just saying, well, it's not us. It's not me, it's somebody else.
Right, right. You know, and the unfortunate thing is you're not getting any leadership. The president spoke this morning again suggesting we need this to help us out of the hardship. We need this bill. Now, they're not going to be back till Thursday. The earliest vote could be Thursday. We should be there working today. I mean, we talked about this last Friday. You know, stay there this weekend, stay there this week, and work this thing out. It's called a bailout. It should be called a workout, a rescue plan. They need to sell this issue. Hank Paulson, unfortunately, when they went into the Republican caucus earlier this week, the Republicans thought they had 70 votes when he went in to talk to them. After he left, they said they had about 20 votes. So he hasn't been a good messenger. Who is the messenger on this issue? The Congress is not leading. Nancy Pelosi is not leading. The president is not really leading. I mean, his numbers are at 28% approval rating. 72% of the people of America do not believe that Congress is doing their job. She can't lead Nancy Pelosi. Hank Paulson is from Goldman Sachs. Who's leading?
Mm-hmm. And the fact is, you know, it's an election year.
Right. And so where is Obama? You know, Obama yesterday actually said that the fundamentals of our economy are strong, which is he's been castigating McCain for saying that for the last 2 weeks. So, and where's McCain? You know, most of the people in the NBC poll last week said 69% we would rather have somebody reform Washington than go and change the Bush policies. I mean, people really want reform. That's his message. He should be pounding the table and talking about this. It was his bill in 2005 to reform Freddie Mae and Fannie Mac. Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae,
right.
That was 100% voted against the Democrats, 100% of the Republicans voted for. It didn't go anywhere. I mean, he's got a history here, but he's kind of lethargic. I mean, where is he? I mean, where is the leadership?
Yeah. Well, you just said it right there, especially with the leadership in the House there with Nancy Pelosi. But there was 235 Democrats, 199 Republicans. They only need 217, so why can't all the Democrats at least come together and pass it?
Well, because they know better. You've got to have, if they vote this thing and it becomes a Democratic package, historically over time, they will be responsible for giving Wall Street $700 billion. That's the perception. The American public, in the overnight polls since this happened yesterday, more than 50% would say that all of a sudden, we don't mind the vote yesterday. We thought it was the right vote. But then 75% of them are concerned about the response on Wall Street. So some Americans are willing to say, let's take the pain and let's do this thing right over the long term. That's the message. And as the Wall Street Journal said this morning, thank God these people weren't at Valley Forge.
Yeah, and you know, I was reading about that in the Wall Street Journal too, and they were just part of the article said U.S. non-financial companies have just under $1 trillion in cash in the books.
There's money
on their books. So I mean, there's money out there that can be invested.
In the Senate, the House Republicans, the minority, 199 of them, have been kind of lethargic and really kind of taking the back seat over the last few years. And all of a sudden, they are the driving force in the House of Representatives, controlled by the Democrats. They are moving this package, and they're talking about capitalism versus socialism. And it becomes more of a philosophical discussion. And I think that's what we're going to really see in the next 3 or 4 days. I mean, there's some talk that they're going to bring the same bill back. I don't think that's going to work. They're going to be tinkering with this thing over the next 3 days.
All right. Thank you so much, Thom Serafin, for coming in this morning. And thank you for your passion.